Mode mama fan ko nkrumaso. Mahama oheya.
In what seems to be a rebuttal, during his campaign tour of the Northeast region, Dr. Bawumia expressed his eagerness to engage John Mahama in a head-to-head debate, but claimed that the former president has been running away from the opportunity. Dr. Bawumia also accused John Mahama's team of refusing to accept the challenge for a debate, saying he is ready to expose what he called the emptiness of John Mahama's policies. The flag bearer of the NPP particularly took issues with John Mahama's promise of a 24-hour economy, which he described as empty as an empty barrel, and claiming that neither John Mahama nor his team would adequately explain the policy.
I am looking forward to a debate with John Mahama on the economy, on the country, on the governance. But I'm afraid that he's running away from a debate, isn't it? His people say he doesn't want to debate, but he doesn't want to debate because he knows I'll expose the emptiness of his policies. He says he has a 24-hour economy that he cannot explain. It's as empty as an empty barrel. He cannot explain it. None of his people can explain it. They say they will be exporting lions and elephants. But when we meet mano a mano, we can debate, and the country will see where our policies lie.
The president says he likes evidence. The evidence, however, shows that since 2000, his tenure of presidents from 2012 to 2016, he has been the worst performing president in terms of Ghana's economy. He has been the worst performing president. That is the evidence, as I showed in my lecture recently. And today, John Mahama says he wants a debate on the economy. Now I want to challenge him to come to Sangba and debate with the people of Sangba on the economy. He should tell them. He should tell the people of Sangba what he has done for them in the last 8 years. 4 years as vice president and 4 years as president. He should tell the people of Northern Ghana and the people of Sangba what he did with the SADA money. He should tell businesses that he should go and debate with businesses that have collapsed because of Dumso. He should go and debate with farmers who cannot buy fertilizer because of his policies. He should go and debate with businessmen who cannot access loans because of high interest rates. He should go and debate with contractors who are not paid because his government is not paying. He should go and debate with teacher trainees who are not paid allowances because his government has refused to pay allowances. He should go and debate with nursing trainees who are not paid allowances because his government has refused to pay allowances. He should go and debate with the unemployed, our youth who are looking for jobs because his economy is collapsing. He should go and debate with drivers who are facing a hard time because of high insurance and molestation by the authorities. He should go and debate with cocoa farmers whose farms are collapsing because of the collapse of mass cocoa spraying program. He should certainly go and debate with people who cannot afford to pay electricity bills or water bills. He should go and debate with the people of Ghana who are suffering. That is where the real debate is. When I presented my lecture on the economy, I presented facts and figures. I made 170 statements at least in that lecture. Now, instead of responding to that lecture, he and his vice president are running away from those facts. They are running away from those facts. If they want a debate on the economy, they should start by answering those 170 facts in my lecture. They don't want to because they cannot. They cannot stand the truth. They cannot stand the facts. They should come and debate here in Sangbawa with the people of Sangbawa. They will tell them how their economy has been run.
To be very brutally frank with you, the comparative between Nkrumah and Akufo-Addo, what was the relevance? Yeah, there was no relevance. It was needless distraction. Go on social media right now. That place nice, a minefield, we all know. And make only not only Facebook, WhatsApp programs. It's so unnecessary, completely irrelevant and needless
for the occasion.
No. Yes,
that is agree.
I mean, no, okay. What is what is our state right now? It's an election. Election. National elections, parliamentary and presidential. Now why select was running late. Now outdoor. You can exalt NPP projects, achievements, President Akufo-Addo's achievements. You are entitled to do that. Look, you are even entitled to say that he is the best president ever.
Exactly, that's what he was saying.
No, the comparative. Don't drag in another figure. Because that figure on count contest, no. Even Akufo-Addo is not going for the contest, but it's administration, near administration. So, needless distraction. Look, you don't provide ammo
for your opponents,
for either your opponents or neutrals. You don't do it. It's needless. So it lacked relevance in terms of the comparative edge now or the being. It was needless. And I have to be very honest with you, I'm disappointed. It's not, look, ideologically, historically, yes, we are opponents in terms of writer. That's what Alute was alluding to in terms of my ideological background. There's nothing wrong with it if he thinks Akufo-Addo has done better than Nkrumah, or JB Dankwa was greater than Nkrumah. This is his ideological world outlook. And me have sleepless nights over that because I have a different perspective in terms of our history.
That's right.
And it's normal that we can't all think the same. The same way, you to judge Ghana's history the same way. In fact, it would be odd for me. From the ideological, political point of view, if that's his view, fine. But the occasion, Kwame, it will focus on the election that is coming, and paint a picture that is positive for your ticket.
Say NDC for when you papa be a farm master your mama. It be massive no charge your mama. Every say and that delusion that it is not because of the irresponsibility, the physical irresponsibility that has occurred under his watch that is causing a direct impact on our fallen city, and he believes that is external problems. When the whole world is getting out of the external shocks, then it's the president's. I can only say that we don't have a future. And that delusion that it is not because of the irresponsibility, the physical irresponsibility that has occurred under his watch that is causing a direct impact on our fallen city, and he believes that is external problems. When the whole world is getting out of the external shocks, then it's the president's. I can only say that we don't have a future. If the
$1, 1 CD. In the time of Mills and Mahama, 2 CDs, $1. If I was done, I would say to the people of Ghana, I'm sorry, we are sorry for the poor work we have done. We're going to go and think about ourselves. But that is not the people we're dealing with. The fruits of office, the money under the table has become sweet for them, so they're determined to stay. Are we going to allow that to happen? Are we going to allow that to happen? In Kufuor's time, one of the people who advised and helped him develop a strong CD was my running mate, Mahamudu Bawumia. Then he was deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. It's one of the reasons I brought him to come and join me, that we will work on the CD and create again a strong CD that will be able to allow us to develop our economy and allow our traders and our to be able to develop.
Say NDC for bunyani papa be a fam masa do mama. It be masiba no jai do mama. E be danyamese say NDC for bunyani papa be a fam masa do mama. It be masiba no jai do mama.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirty, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi, inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Well, it's a Friday, the 12th day of July, 2024. By His grace, we are live and we're here with yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude will go to the Most High God for the very privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation. shortly. But let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Make cement pricing transparent. Stakeholders to manufacturers. President appoints Samuel Jinapor to oversee Energy Ministry. Galamsey threat to future generation. Cameron Dodu. Senate gets NPRA green light to sell 60% hotel shares to Rock City. The Ghanaian Times. Ongoing 2024 BEC malpractices. 16 teachers, 4 others nabbed over cheating in exams. We are committed to resolving boundary disputes with our neighbors, President assures. Plot to remove IGP. Parliament forwards committee report to President. Daily Guide. Let's debate economy. Mano a mano. Bawumia dares Mahama. Mahama in Russia for support. 2.37 million euros ambulance case. Jakpa Supine Speaker. Western Region Chiefs extol NAPO. A vote for NPP is a vote for your future. New Weekend Crusading Guide. Mahama takes presidential campaign to Russia. Sale of SNIT 60% shares in 4 hotels approved. ABN apologizes to Sam Jonah over defamatory comment. Bawumia feds widows in Bumpurugu. Ambulance case top media commentary. Judge warns. Government to create viable SME ecosystem for businesses with high growth potentials. Amin Adam. The Insight. Dooms or looms over energy sector debt disputes. Workers of TVET warn of strike action over salary discrepancies. The creative economy is a low-hanging fruit, Rex Omartel's successive government. Ghana records over 3,765 cases of alcohol-related mental disorders in 2023. UK elections. Socialist Movement Ghana hails Jeremy Corbyn's victory in Islington North as endorsement of his fight against injustice, poverty, and war. The Informer. Man-to-man debate. Mahama pulls foot. Bawumia. 2024 polls will be peaceful and credible, UN chief assures. Liberia shows way as its president slashes salary by 40%. Estimated drop in national fish production. Ghana faces hunger. Vasti dawn. We are not witches. Embrace us. NCD patients appeal. The Inquisitor. IGP Konkonsante probe. Matter no die. Further investigations soon. Food ingredient imports soared to $133 million in 2023. We will pray for you and Bawumia. Wasa Menfio Maine to Napo. Menshia South NPP do. Nano Usu picks #1 spot on ballot paper. Minority against restricted recruitment. The Herald. Jakpa drags Bagbin, CDS, Segbefia, others into ambulance trial as Justice Asari Botwe threatens contempt. Ghana gas CEO's multi-million-dollar deals under scrutiny. Boardroom tension reveals his post-dated contracts. I've taken more development to north than John Mahama. Bawumia. Employment Minister reverses NPRA's ban on SNIT hotel sale. Sophia Kufu. Kwesi Pratt to grace Mills's remembrance event. Napo resigns as Energy Minister. Herbert Crapper takes over soon. The Daily Statesman. Let's debate on economy and policies. Bawumia throws challenge to Mahama. National Service Scheme Lords Parliament for swift passage of bill. Hydro Authority. UKCEH partner to control flood. Educhum Open Cyber Security and Digital Forensic AI Lab. The Daily Searchlight. Is it a tactic born out of desperation? Bawumia dares Mahama to debate. Man 71 writes BEC in Ahafo region. Whoa. Dr. Educhum launches a cybersecurity digital forensic and AI laboratory in Accra at Amil's Memorial Heritage to commemorate 12th anniversary of his passing. As Vice President, I assisted to bring more development to the north than John Mahama. Bawumia. ABSA Bank appoints Edward Nate Botwe as substantive MD. Your plight as widows touches my heart. Bawumia to widows in Bumpurugu. The New Finder. Ministry of Food and Agriculture shares PFJ 2.0 inputs, the first 200,000 to register under GHAAP to receive grants. Dr. Bawumia boasts of better achievements up north than Mahama. DBG to channel 1.4 billion cedis to SMEs, IFC to provide $400 million. Hydro Authority, UKCEH, partner to enhance flood control and climate resilience. KNUST graduates, death is being thoroughly investigated. IGP. Daily Post. Mahama launches Russian language translation of his book in Moscow. Gertrude Tokonum must be removed as Chief Justice. Professor Kweku Asare, popularly known as Kweku Azar. Ablakwa catches a Akufo-Addo/Bawumia government handing over iconic Dubois Memorial Center to cronies for 50 years. Focus on the financial distress Ghanaians are going through. Franklin Kujo to presidential aspirants. The Catholic Standard. You have been accepted by Ghanaians, Otumfuo to Nuncio. Vatican excommunicates former apostolic nuncio to the US for schism. 10 receive papal awards in Sunyani. Vice President visits St. Jude Church. We need to listen to women at the grassroots. Marriage expert on why African marriages are breaking. And that's about it. For the front pages, we'll be back shortly.
She's coming. She's coming!
Oh, it's in.
Red Hour Cito! Boss, let's go back. Here. Take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming. Oh.
She's here. Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
Rise and shine, it's another day to stay on point. Toast is spread, it's still on point. Watch is spread it all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Watch is spread,
it's still on point.
For your bread,
it's
creamy. For your toast,
it's still on point.
It's yummy, delicious.
It's still on point.
Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
For your toast, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Fortune spread, it's yummy, delicious.
It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Customer, I don't know who to say.
Malaria been actually me, man. No more drama, man. Still.
One of them give us.
Give us a solid.
Yeah. Sorry. What rest of so give us here and don't come down.
What's a good answer? But for me to give us the and some down.
Give us about me, sir.
If I try the and some down.
Customer. Give us the tonton now.
Onuya kayo oba wa fa furo nom de o ma no bonu fo nom akwada wa ni fie dumie no ono nso nom.
Bet, blast, boom! Exclusively on Betway. Win up to 300% more when you play FlyX with Win Boost from Betway. Betway, get way more.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias.
Her smile, the fresh breath.
Me Jidi say we use Kel 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Kel 360 toothpaste.
Reskia Kel 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Onim jom kasa.
Ile hosen. Kel 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling to when you know Kel 360 toothpaste.
Happy.
Kel 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Papa is working. Bar Herbal Hospital. Specialists in every kind of bone disease.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Eh baby, a saga we bia. Nanso, yare etini sapa e dompemu yare.
Spinal cord, swelling of the arms, arthritis, bone injury, swelling of the leg with reddish color around it, and so on. See, Bar Herbal Hospital has special ultra-modern machine for checking up the body. I have tried them and I got good results. Try Bar Herbal Hospital.
Here is to the friends who took the chance with no regrets. Investors no more hating fortune. To the health workers who diagnosed blacks every move. And then to the hard guy who couldn't hold his emotions. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hand-earned stitches into a bundle of joy. And now, here is to you. Your next big win is right here. From 1st July 2024, dial *712# and password tickets as a group individual to win in the community draw or the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with *712#.
NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And if you're thinking about getting a toothpaste that will take care of all the family and save you some money, the recommended family toothpaste is Kel 360 toothpaste. It's approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Kel 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day. with freshness. KL 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using KL 360 toothpaste. KL 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use KL 360 toothpaste. KL 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso. It's available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 0246-864-798. KL 360 toothpaste. Happy smile. Now, I've got some great news from MTN for you if you are in the SME space, because this month, July, is SME month. It's SME month. And if you own a small or medium-sized business, get ready for an exciting month as MTN Ghana brings you a host of exciting events carefully planned for SMEs across the regions. Businesses will be given the opportunity to set up at the MTN head office at the SME pop-up event from the 4th to 30th July. There will be quizzes on the social media pages with exciting prizes to be won. MTN will have developmental and capacity training for SMEs across the regions. There will be promotions and major discounts on MTN's products to boost your pocket and your business. The month's activities will be capped by SME fairs on July 18th to 20th at the Tetekwashi Interchange Triangle, and on July 26th to 28th at the KJTR Market. Don't miss out on an open invitation to gain access to top-notch solutions, exposure to partners, and an opportunity to put your business on the map. Be a part of MTN SME Month 2024. Contact MTN today or call MTN or WhatsApp MTN on 0244 308 111 to know more. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing the stairs when not exercising could be challenging, irrespective of your age. But worry no more. Lifts and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumon or just call them on 0200-535-515 or send a mail to elevators@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movement. Okay. So, with me on the show this morning is a man who has deserted us for close to a month. Okay, but fortunately he's back. He's the vice chair of Bawumia 2024. The Honorable Nana Kumia is here with us on the show. Nana, good morning.
Morning, Randy.
Also with me on the show this morning is the Member of Parliament for the Wassa East constituency, who's also a former deputy roads minister, the Honorable Isaac Ajay Mensah. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning, Doc. Yes, sir.
Where have you been?
Oh, well, let me wish my dear brother good morning yourselves. Yes, it's been quite a while. It's a combination of travel.
You've been away for 3 weeks.
No.
You missed 3 editions.
Yes, so it cannot be one reason. So yes. It's a combination of reasons. Travel, campaign meetings, and other engagements that came on Friday morning. Yeah.
At our expense. At the expense of the thousands.
No, but I always had a good sit-in.
Yeah.
Yes. I always ask the Minister for Tourism to sit in.
Yes.
So you cannot say you haven't shortchanged.
I haven't said that.
But what have you said?
I said that you had those engagements at the expense.
Yes. What does expense mean?
You denied us your presence.
But I had a suitable representative.
You should have sent him to the meetings. Because I saw you chilling at the landmark.
You were there?
No, I saw you chilling there.
Ah, okay.
I was there last year.
No, we were campaigning.
At the landmark?
Yes. We're raising funds for the campaign.
Oh, okay. How much did you raise?
We had about £400,000.
Hey!
Mm.
Okay.
Mm. Yeah.
£400,000.
Yeah, for London people to give you £400,000.
You took your commission?
Oh, no, it's for campaign funds.
Anyway, it's good to have you back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Honorable, how's the Wasa East?
Not bad. Wasa East is long, hoping for change.
They want to change you?
Hoping for change.
They want to change you?
No, change, a positive change for NDC to come with as Nana Akufo is hesitant. They want Mahama back.
No, but
and wanted to retain me as
you
well.
are the incumbent.
Again,
so if you say they are looking for change,
no.
then maybe they want to change the incumbent.
I'm on floor.
We are talking about the presidential. But they are not looking for change at the parliamentary.
Allow me to talk. Allow me to wish you, to greet you. So my regards to
we have a discussion.
Well. Yeah. For up, I'm always honored to be here.
Yeah.
And this is the second time. The last time I was here, you weren't here. So Nana, nice to see you again.
The last time you had the opportunity of letting us know about Wasa East and all that.
Yeah. Wasa East is a wonderful place.
Yeah.
We contribute so much to the state. A lot of gold. There's a gold mine company there. And it used to be, we had this Subri Nesra Plantation Limited, the people and pop the plantation. But now it's been sold to Soknav, a Dutch company. They are now into oil palm plantation.
Is it still
yes
working, employing people?
A lot of people. So yeah, I was
like. But you say your constituency, the people there, they want change at the presidential, but they don't want change at the parliamentary.
Of course, yes. Why do they need a change in the parliamentary? Because I'm doing a good job.
Oh, okay. All right. I wanted to be clear.
Be clear. It's clear.
Now, how's the campaign going?
Well, Dr. Bawumia is in the north. He's going to be there for about 10 days or so. It's a constituency tour. And I saw some of the footage of his activities being played a couple of minutes ago on your station. It's exciting. The report that we are getting is that the response to his message and to his presence, the response have been very exciting. And we're hoping that it's going to continue to be exciting up to the election day. I mean, Bawumia's message is quite attractive. His ideas about where to take Ghana and how to take Ghana there are very exciting. If you look at the UPSA speech where he gave us a taste of what he has in mind for the country, what he said about the cost of living, bringing down the cost of living, he identified 4 or 5 key areas. Talked about the dollar. At any time the dollar went up, the cost of living went up. And so to be able to keep the dollar stable, or the cedi, the value of the cedi stable, we need to have a more radical approach to some of the things that we've been doing. Import substitution has to be more rigorous and targeted. The use of gold. Wasa has a lot of gold. The use of gold to back the currency, which has been a standard practice in many of the places where their money, their currency is stable. Is going to pursue the same strategy in Ghana, big time. If you went to England or the UK, for example, they have nearly 4,000 tons of gold that they use to support the British pound. They go to America, they have over 8,000 tons of gold that also supports the dollar. We produce the gold, we didn't even have 10 tons. So there's going to be a major gold purchase program to the Bank of Ghana to shore up, because gold is currency, it's international currency, to shore up the cedi. We also talked about import substitution of some of the things that we, chicken. Fortunately for us, you know, over the last 3 years or so, Randy, the rice, which is a major import, major commodity, food commodity that we use dollars to import. The rice importation has reduced by about 40%, which shows that if we do more, we'll be able to be self-sufficient in rice in the coming days. We also talked about housing as one of the factors that push up the cost of living. The cost of housing is high because the demand or the supply does not meet the demand for housing. And what he planned to do is for government to buy land banks across the country. So you take Accra, Greater Accra, where we want the city to expand, government to buy maybe 100 acres and put in infrastructure, water, electricity, roads, so that private developers can go in there and put up houses. But one of the major drivers of the cost of housing is the land and the litigation, the uncertainty with land ownership. You end up paying 3-4 groups of people, so it makes the cost of land, and also the cost of infrastructure. Even in your own house, you want to get the electricity meter, you have to go through a lot of hassle. If government provided all those things, and so the private developers just have to go, the land is there, the infrastructure is there, it will bring down the cost of living and to lead to a huge delivery of housing. And that government is not going to now have to put in money. We all know the problems that attend when government is putting in money. Sagleme is a crucial example. And then it's also going to digitize land titling. A lot of the land in Ghana, the title, the ownership is not established because the chiefs and the people have not registered the land. The cost of it is high, the process of it is cumbersome. So he's going to introduce a system where the registration of land will be free. So when the land is being sold, that's where government will get something. But the registration will be free and it will be digitized so that every parcel of land in this country would have ownership that you can access on your phone. So when you want to buy land and so on, you don't have to now go to some land commission and go through 50 files to see. He also identified energy as one of the drivers of the cost of living. And he said, here we have the sun. It's it's so hot, you know, that's why we have this skin color. That's what people believe. But the sun too is a major source of energy, especially electricity. And those of us who have solar facilities at home, we know how effective solar can be. Now, on the national level, Bawumia says he's going to embark on a major national effort to generate 2,000 megawatts of electricity from solar. And that would be a significant change in our energy mix, at least for domestic use, households and so on. And for a 4-year period, the major solar program, the manufacturing of batteries, the manufacturing of the panels will be localized so that we can put panels all over roofs and all over the country so we can generate from the sun. When you go to North Africa, for example, they are now storing electricity in batteries from solar from the sun and exporting it to Europe. He also identified transportation as one of the drivers of the cost of living, and he said that he would embark on an introduction of electric buses for public transportation, which will reduce the cost of public transportation and also make the fare stable, because the key driver of transport fares is basically the price of diesel and petrol. And so electric buses do not use diesel or petrol. They just use batteries, and they don't suffer increment anytime there's an increment in the price, international price of oil and so on, or the fall in the value of the cedi, or the rise in the price of the dollar. And so he's going to embark on a massive introduction of electric vehicles for public transport. And then the last one was food. He's going to encourage the things that we are doing pre-harvest, the support that we give to farmers are going to be maintained, but there's going to be a new focus on post-harvest management, post-harvest support. So agro-processing is going to be a major item in the industry drive to be able to process the food that will be produced. Also, the cost of transport with the electric buses that will be introduced for public transportation. It should stabilize the price of transport. That also affect the price of food. It's going to introduce lime, which I understand is a very effective support for agriculture because it reduces the acidity in the soil and makes the soil more productive. And we have limestone, huge supplies of limestone in this country, and it's going to make that a major part of agriculture. And then it's going to encourage large-scale commercial farming. Those ideas, and then his ideas for macroeconomic stability using the gold purchase program to help to support the cedi. He's also going to take off a lot of load from public expenditure. He says that roads, for example, commercially viable roads, which basically are the highways, is going to leverage concession agreements with private sector to provide, to build the highways and toll them, so that that kind of expenditure can be taken off the government books. And because these roads are viable, you go into a concession agreement for 10 years, they toll, but then you have the roads. And then many of the services that government provide, that can be provided by the private sector, so government can lease, like school, hostels, and so on. Will be taken off government expenditure. And he's also going to bring an addition to the Fiscal Responsibility Act, which would tie the budget not to the previous year's budget, but to tax revenue, and enforce it, so that the deficit does not go beyond 5% and so on, to stabilize the cedi, and also the aggressive import substitution program, and also the aggressive export. So, and then also is going to be tax reform. There are an estimated 10 million people who do not pay direct taxes in this country. They were previously not identified, but now with the Ghana card, with about 17 million people on the Ghana card, only about 4 million have been identified and paying direct taxes, people like you and myself sitting here. But there are another 14 million who do not pay. If you take out another 2 million for students and so on, you are looking at about 8 to 9 to 10 million people who can be identified now because they have Ghana card. And the Ghana card is also your tax identification number, who can now be assessed for tax purposes. It's going to be a simplified system, a flat rate that you can file on your phone and pay on your phone and get your receipt on your phone every month. So all these plumbers and electricians and drivers and so on, millions of people who are not in the tax brackets and do not have the opportunity to contribute. They will have the opportunity now to contribute through the tax reform using the identification that the Ghana card provides to rope in these huge numbers of people, and that will enable him to do away with some of the taxes that we have today, e-levy and so on. So his message is exciting and is being received well by the people. And every constituency that he goes, there's a youth connect where he meets about 1,000 young people in every constituency. Especially when there's a school there, it's easier to get them together. But a lot of young people are brought together in a hall that he addresses. And so, and it's going to get better, Randy.
All right. Honorable, let me bring you in. I'm sure that there's a lot also happening on your side. Yeah. I don't know if you have something to say, but there's a lot happening on your side. Your candidate has also had a media encounter last Sunday here in Accra, and all that. What's going on your side?
Yeah, thank you. Just a bit of comment on what Nana just said. I'm wondering whether Nana believes in what he just said. I'm wondering whether there's a new Bawumia. Because remember, in 2016, President Nana Akufo-Addo said, this is a man who assisted President Kufuor. He was a deputy Ghana, governor for Bank of Ghana. So he was going to save us. And so a lot of people sort of trusted what the president was saying. And they gave him the nod. The whole strength was Bawumia coming to save Ghana. So Ghanaians voted for Nana Akufo-Addo and Bawumia. I remember in his edge of excitement, he said, we wouldn't even need loans. We'll just tow the roads and we'll be the roads. And many, many more. And when in the middle, just not in the beginning of the tenure, the first time, he said, we have arrested CD and given the keys to the IGP and many more. What have you seen? We are witnessing the highest level of poverty in the system here. Just recently, the Statistics Service released data that about 7.3 million households are poor. And the World Bank also confirmed further with another details of what 800,000 people also very, very poor. And when these issues are chunked out, I mean the numbers, these are households. And on average, you have about three people in any household. And Ghana has about 31 million people. So that means that we are in a messy situation. I'm wondering whether the vice president believes in what he's saying. The same thing that he said, and they said when they were given power, even when in the first day that they came into the system, has been colored, decorated in a different way, as he's saying. Now, Greek, we will do this and this. But in all these, I was expecting that Bawumia comes out to say, we are owing close to 800 billion Ghana cedis in debt. And these are my plans to pay those debts. Again, the concern that COVID and Ukraine war has been, I'm not sure whether they've stopped saying that. And so we need Bawumia to talk about, Vice President Bawumia, to talk about how he is going to get out of this challenge. Of course, yes. You're coloring all those issues relating to Greek food production, energy production, many things. Tell us how you are going to help pay the debt, because you've contributed significantly to that. We don't have any evidence, Doc, that Bawumia, with all these good things that he's saying, I don't know whether he's getting a consultant to tell him this, but if it is coming from him, we don't have any evidence that he proposed this thing to Nana Akufo-Addo, his boss, and that he refused. Otherwise, we will still have to hang in with this issue of, credibility. I think he has some credibility deficit that he has to bail himself out. The economy is in crisis. We are in challenge, So I think that all that he's saying, Doc, they are rhetorics. They don't mean it. But there's no evidence to demonstrate. He has about 8 years, and then has been done. Yes, Doc, you talk about the media engagement. For me, that was very exciting. That was one of the most, powerful, engagement with the media. Nana Akufo-Addo and Bawumia have, been running away from the media for a very long time. That, Bawumia is calling for, a debate on the economy. So that was the most powerful presentation ever, meeting the media, and it spanned through across all over the sectors in education. Now, Doc, these questions came from the media, came from the pressman, and just give for about 3 hours on, standing. This man was so marvelous. Issues on the education sector, the economic sector, the energy sector, and many more. On those questions that all came, and he just said that our manifesto will all will be consolidated in there. Doc, the most significant of this is the 24-hour economy. And that is very, very clear. This is a man who has, managed this country before. And, with Nana Akufo-Addo and Bawumia, they has denigrated him. He's done nothing. And I'm not surprised that they say he hasn't done anything, because even when Professor Mills was there, Dr. Bawumia and Nana Akufo-Addo and Professor Doolittle. So the 24-hour economy policy is clear, and it seeks to, and I was asking the question whether Bawumia has come out to help us know how we are going to pay all these debts that we've accumulated. The 24-hour economy is going to help us get out of these challenges going forward. The fact that we are taking advantage of the life. Doc, we are engaged by the fact that, 8 hours. You're always working 8 hours. You have more than 8 hours. And this system of 24 hours is practiced, particularly, because I'm a miner, in the mines, we run shift. And it's so productive. Why can't you do that? So basically, on a basic level, because of the challenges we are facing now, we are thinking outside the box, and the 24-hour economy will help in many, many respects, in the energy sector, in the education sector, in the economic sector. How can that be possible? And for me, I think that if I'm back to it again, all those rhetorics, all those, presentation gymnastics, Bawumia would do this. He had the opportunity. He had opportunity in 8 years. Why didn't he do this? And I think the last time we were here, Nana did say something as well that, he is not the president. He needs the power. But if you've been engaged, granted he's a consultant, because Nana placed all his hopes on him in the early part of his campaigning in 2016. Then Ghana we gave him the note to manage the economy. So if you are the guy that the president, dumped all his hope on you, show us the evidence that all these good things that I'm saying. I told Nana, I presented Nana, and he debunked them, or he never accepted them. We haven't seen any sign of that. So I think that this issue of credibility is a problem. President Bawumia, Vice President Bawumia lacks that credibility. And many, many more promises that he's not been able to do. Doc, this reminds me also, there was this issue of one constituency, $1 million. And once Bawumia was in the Cape Coast, and they asked him, so go, apply, that money is ready, only for it to be something else. So I think that the issue of credibility challenges is hanging on. And I wish you well. Nana is the vice campaign chairman. And just this morning he said he was on that fundraising tour. And I'm wondering, of course, but within MPP's talk, there are people who are just impervious to all these happenings, and they will not take whatever happens. They think that the MPP, the Bawumia, and that is it. But there are many more also in that stock who think that Nana Akufo-Addo Bawumia, they have woefully performed, woefully managed this, the state getting us into the ditch. So personally, I think that, Vice President has nothing to offer. He can offer them now. And so far, as I did say, we have not seen any evidence demonstrating that, yes, all these good things that the things that Ghanaians should give him another 4 years for what? And there is that sense of continuity because they are calling for breaking the 8. They are not calling for a new era altogether. So just a continuation of the mess. I don't think that the good people of Ghana will have time for that. President Mahama joined his tenure within the 4 years. Just compare the 4 years to Nana Akufo-Addo Bawumia, 8 years. Phenomenal difference. And that is what gives Ghanaians the hope that Mahama should come and save Ghana. But Doc, the worrying aspect of it is you come and just prepare. People think that, this man will come in here, clean the mess, prepare the system, and if you're not careful another time, then people just come and blow it again. But this time, no, he's coming in. That's all it takes to make things happen. He started a very good foundation. Everything was better. Ghanaians said, we don't like you any longer. Then he went, and it's good that he stood aside for a while. Now, the visible issues are here. Everything is clear that this government, Nana Akufo-Addo Bawumia, and in the same Bawumia, there's not even a new person coming in here. If there's even a new person coming in as a flag bearer, that is different. But in the same Bawumia that we know, with all his non-performance, super non-performance, excuse me, I don't think that Ghanaians will give him that opportunity. Ghanaians will vote him out come December 2024, December 7, 2024. They vote him out, and Mahama will be back. He's coming back to save Ghana from all these challenges, all these problems.
All right, okay. Nana, I was going to ask you another. Okay, yes. I was going to ask you another issue.
Okay, my brother here has some fundamental issues that are interesting. I thought I would have a comment or two. He says that President Akufo-Addo brought Bawumia and said that he was going to be the economic messiah. What comes to my mind is, has Akufo-Addo complained? My brother, has Akufo-Addo complained? But you said Akufo-Addo gave him a job. Has Akufo-Addo complained that the job has not been done? Now, we also know that since 2020, we've been through an extraordinary setback, which is COVID-19. We know you can't run away from it. In fact, when President Mahama went to Harvard and he talked about the damage that COVID-19 has brought on African economies. We don't have much time. I've read it to you. And we talked about how COVID has driven 55 million to poverty, how it's destroyed the economic fundamentals of African economies, and making an appeal for Africa to be. Of course, strangely, when it came to Ghana, he said, as for Ghana, the Ghanaian case, there's Akufo-Addo. But generally, in the African case, it's COVID. And what he said at Harvard about the damage that COVID has done. I mean, I couldn't be more eloquent than that. When he came to Ghana, he said, well, as for Ghana, there's because the government is not good. But
you mean when he arrived in Ghana? Or
even at the speech?
Yes, so the speech was specific about his country, Ghana.
Yes, and I'm saying that after giving the general African situation, about how COVID has damaged African economies. When he came to his own country, he said, oh, as for my own country, Ghana, there is the government. But for the...
There's a country-specific analysis.
Of course.
But when COVID affected us differently.
Exactly. Yes, but the general effect on African economies, well, it didn't affect Ghana. It could have affected Ghana. And he painted a clear picture of how COVID has affected African economies. But when he came to his own country, he said, oh, COVID is the government's inefficiency. But that's where the politics comes in. But clearly, what he said about the damage to African economies by COVID contradicted what he said about Ghana. I'm saying you can't run away from the... And when you look at the economic indices, in the 3 years before COVID, 2017 to 2019, you would see that the indices were some of the best that we've had in this country, at least in the Fourth Republic. If you look at the GDP growth, for example, they were some of the highest in the world, 8%, 6.2, 6.5. Then in 2020, it dropped to 0 point something. That's a huge drop, and that affected our debt to GDP ratio because your GDP dropped from 6.5 to 0.8 and so on. So these are difficulties that you cannot ignore. But in the period before COVID, you would agree that the performance was much, 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 much better. Now, it says, does Bawumia believe in what he's saying? But what I have told you about Bawumia's vision, do you have a problem with them? You didn't tell me of any problem that you had with his vision.
I do have problems.
But you said you have credibility with the person. Okay. If you are going to talk about credibility, I mean,
I do have problems.
Mahama has been president, you would agree, for 4.5 years. And his work or his performance in those years obviously did not meet the expectation of Ghanaians. And so he happens to be the only president in the Fourth Republic who was not given a second term. And he happens to be the only contestant in an election who suffered the biggest loss in the Fourth Republic. And he is also the person who had the most years of any first-term president. All the presidents that we've had, the first term was 4 years. Mahama alone had 4.5 years. So he had more time to show Ghanaians what he could do. And yet his performance did not meet the expectation of Ghanaians. And so he happens to be the only president who was not given a second term. Now he's coming back. So if you're going to talk about credibility, between somebody who's been president before and somebody and still coming back and making promises, and somebody who has not been president before, who has better credibility when you put the two gentlemen on the scale?
No,
because what they are contesting for is for the office of president. And for that office, one of them has been president before, okay? And so we've tried him. We gave him the chance to show us what he could do. And what he didn't meet our expectation. You must agree, because that's what the election, that's the only interpretation you can give to the election results. But what other interpretation can you give? You talk about 24 hours. Can you tell me in 2 sentences what 24 hours is? Is it possible you can tell me?
Look,
are you done? So I shift to him.
Okay. No, I wanted just finish. Because Randy, this 24 hour, depending on who you speak to, they tell you something different. Either it's being sold 24 hours, or it's one of them I heard said that it's what are you talking about? You want me to play you the videos? We don't have a lot of time. Others I played you the videos.
But if it is not, if it is not for politics, if the flag bearer of a party has communicated the policy, and they have even developed...
You mean the 24-hour policy?
Yes. Not once, twice. And they have even developed FAQs about the policy.
Yeah.
That if you use your phone to even Google, you can find.
Yeah.
Why would we be looking at what some other person said if you want an understanding of the policy? The flag bearer has the person who announced the policy has spoken extensively about it. It is available. They have further developed FAQs about the policy. It's available.
You would agree that the first discussion that we had was about Bawumia's campaign. And what I said to you is exactly what Bawumia himself is saying. Okay, so if the NDC flag bearer has outlined the policies and has done answers and all of that. And yet you ask his people.
Some people.
And these are key people, spokespersons, parliamentary candidates, and so on. They tell you something different. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was asking him.
What different was
and
that?
I'm very sure that if you insist on him giving us his take, he's going to say something also different.
No.
I've heard parliamentary candidates tell their constituents, NDC parliamentary candidates, tell their constituents that the 24-hour economy means that there will be 24-hour medical services. So when you're at home in the night and you are sick, a doctor will come and visit you. No, that's 24 hours. I've heard key spokespersons say that, Wache will be sold after 6 p.m. and so on. I've heard key people say that farmers can go to farm 24 hours and so on. And all that. So, but you see, Randy, for me, the most important thing
is it not your deputy minister or minister who was rather telling his people that the 24-hour means that they will have to go to farm at night, and that the night is when they get to sleep with their wives.
Yes.
And so if the 24-hour economy comes, they won't be able to sleep with their wives because they have to go to farm. It's one of the videos we played.
So let's say
it's actually your deputy minister.
No. Let's say he doesn't understand it.
No.
One second.
Don't say that. Let's say.
Oh, can I finish?
No, but you're making the wrong promise.
Honorable, please allow him to finish.
You're come to beat me this morning.
I'm not beating you this morning. You're making the wrong promise. Go on.
No. Randy Abe is saying that.
That's him.
Yes, okay. Randy Abe.
You know him.
I can't see the face properly. Which deputy minister is that? I'm going to send Annie, your producer, the videos of all of that. I'm going to send it to her. But I'm saying that, Chief, Randy Abe is saying a deputy minister has misinterpreted.
When you spoke about the farm, then I remembered that he spoke about farm.
But the farm, look, there's even somebody who said that chop bars will pray 24 hours. I have all of that here.
But what's wrong with that?
So what is it about? Is it about Wache? Is it about chop bar? Is it about farming? Because I've also heard key NDC people who are supposed to know the policy talk about farming, 24-hour farming.
Agro-processing or farming?
Yes. They said farming. The videos are here. Okay. I'll send the videos to you in a second. Okay. So, but you see, for me, the most important thing that I worry about is that many of the things that John Mahama himself has said, that he said will promote 24-hour economy. Randy, he said the same things in 2012. Do you remember the private sector development strategy? If you look at that strategy, I had a copy in one of my files. I don't know if I still have it. But if you look at that strategy, which was launched in it was supposed to run from 2011. This one. It's supposed to run from 2011 to 2015.
It's 2010 to 2015.
2010 to 2015.
That's Professor Mills.
Yeah. Yes. Now, if you look at this thing, all the things that they are talking about in 24 hours, the one Mahama himself says, they're all here. They're all here.
So what's the point you're making?
They couldn't do it. When he had a chance to be president for 4.5 years, those things that they said they were going to do in this program, they couldn't do it.
Those things that who said?
This strategy.
The 2010.
2010 to 2015.
Yes.
They couldn't do it. They're all here. Even if you move away from this, the things that President Mahama himself said, this is the first address he gave to the nation in September 2012. My brother here was going on about arrest of the city, and I could see that he was so happy. Mahama said the same thing. In paragraph 7, he says, this was in September, after the funeral of President Mills. He said, Mr. Chairman, thankfully, with timely measures put in place under the aegis of the Economic Advisory Council and the Economic Management Team, we have arrested the decline of the city. So he also told us that he's arrested the decline of the city. But then we know that the dollar wasn't arrested. And all of this, he had the authority of the presidency. All the things that he said in this document, so how many pages? About 40 pages. And he had a chance 4.5 years to see to it. He failed. So if you are going to talk about credibility, you have to be a bit more careful. For somebody who's had a chance to be president and whose performance fell below expectation, and somebody who's never had a chance to be president, if you're going to talk about their respective credibility, you have to be careful. Okay? My last point is talking about this debt. Yeah, he was going on about it. If you are going to talk about debt, the NDC is on record in their 8 years between 2009 and 2016 to have contracted over $30 billion worth of debt. The NPP debt over the same period, as we speak, is about 13 billion. So if you're going to talk about debt and responsibility and assign culpability to NPP, you'll be mistaken.
Why?
Because, like I've told you, if we're going to talk about our debt burden as a country and the debt servicing, the NDC borrowed more. They have contributed more to our debt.
Is that how you analyze the effect of debt?
To analyze it?
Because you see, if I borrowed 30 billion and I was able to service my debt, I did not declare bankruptcy. I did not impose haircuts on people. I did not go into a debt sustainability program. You cannot compare that to a debt situation that leads a country to declare bankruptcy. That leads a country to give a haircut. In fact, as we speak today, the companies who did not voluntarily accept the haircut, they have not been paid. They are whatever, as we speak today. Although the deputy governor of the central bank a few months ago said that they had settled everybody. The corporate entities that did not opt for the voluntary is still outstanding. Yeah, so you cannot reduce the debt thing to somebody borrowed 30. You borrowed 13. What was the effect of what you borrowed?
The effect of the debt also depends on the debt that you have. Unless you want to tell me that the 30 billion that was borrowed was paid for.
No.
The 30 billion that was borrowed was not paid off. Okay. It wasn't paid off.
No.
It wasn't paid off. So you still, the servicing continued after 2017.
Okay. So, Nana,
so it became part of our debt profile.
Between you and I, you have been in government. You've sat in cabinet. I haven't. But at least I know that at the Ministry of Finance, they have this chart about Ghana's our debt. If you go there today, so they know how much we owe, how much we must service at every point in time. So even when we are applying for a loan, they can input it, and you can tell the effect or the impact that you have on the economy. So at every point in time, when you take over a government, you know that per our debt situation, this is the picture. If I do A, this will be the impact on the debt situation. So you take over a government at the point in time when you know that this is our debt situation. When I borrow B, this will be the implication. I borrow C, this will be the implication. And so if you take over and you tout yourself as better managers of the economy, and you start borrowing, and you are told that, look, the way you are going on with your borrowing, because you talk about 13 billion, your Eurobond alone.
Not me talk about it, that's the fact.
No, I'm saying your Eurobond,
you said it.
Your Eurobond alone is 13 billion. Are you aware? Eurobond alone, 13 billion.
And then?
All there are other loans, I've not even come there, but I'm saying Eurobond alone. You took 13 billion. When between Kufuor and amongst Kufuor, Mills and Mahama, all of them put together was less than 4 billion. And so the implications of your loans, you were aware. The issue of, look, where our borrowing is taking us to, you create problems. The Ministry of Finance issued statements telling us that what you were engaged in were reprofiling, you used all manner of adjectives.
Look,
to say that you knew what you were doing. What were those who were complaining about our debt situation didn't know what they were saying.
But do you agree?
For you to take us into the ditch that you sent us into.
Then
do you agree?
Yes.
That the debt that we're servicing, that we couldn't service largely because of COVID. Do you agree?
I don't agree that we couldn't service because of COVID. I don't agree.
Why couldn't we service?
We couldn't service because we had over-borrowed. We had borrowed to the extent that our debt servicing.
But if you talk about over-borrowing,
yes.
that's the point I'm making. If you talk about over-borrowing, and this is a favorite song of my colleagues here, you borrowed 30 billion.
Yes.
Somebody borrowed 13 point something billion. So if you're going to talk about over-borrowing, who should you hold responsible?
Okay. And I'm sure you weren't listening to me.
I listen to you carefully.
All I'm saying is that you take over a government and you claim that those who you took over from were so incompetent. They didn't know how to run the economy. And your own records show that you took over an economy whose debt to GDP was 56%. 56%. And like I said, anytime, so you are fully aware that per my debt situation, this is how much I need to service my debt for every single year. That is how come when the finance minister presents the budget, if you go to the appendices, you will see what Ghana will spend on debt service, whether it's interest payment, whether it's amortization, whether it's whatever.
Yeah.
So you know. And at any time that you go to contract a loan, you know the implications of that on your debt service. And so you know that I require a certain capacity to be able to do ABCD. So even if somebody borrowed 30 billion, but you took over an economy whose debt to GDP was 56%, and an economy which was servicing its debt and was not using 70% of its tax revenue to service its debt.
Okay.
And then you come in.
Then you go into debt exchange. But you would agree that the borrowing that happened under NDC was more than twice what happened at the NPP. So if I'm going to talk about, sorry?
No.
These are official figures. So
what are figures?
These are official figures.
Show it. Show them.
Now, you would agree that your servicing depends on the debt.
Now, so our debt at the time
let me finish.
NPP took over is 120 billion.
Let me finish.
Yes.
120 billion.
Let's stay in Ghana.
Let me finish.
Don't go for
So, but we're staying in Ghana.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're talking about
120 billion.
We're talking about what?
120 billion was our debt, Nana. 120 billion.
Can I finish?
Debt to GDP 56%.
Yes.
I'm saying that
we're
so what I want to establish very clearly is that when you talk about borrowing and reckless borrowing that they've been saying, if you talk about that, I'll tell you very simply that when it comes to borrowing, NDC borrowed over 30, which is more than twice what NPP borrowed. So don't talk about reckless
borrowing. Where are you
borrowing.
getting those figures
Now,
from?
Those are official figures.
From
Go
where?
and check. Check from the Bank of Ghana.
So
website.
I'm just telling
Now,
you
let me finish.
that it was 120 billion. As against the latest figure was 700 and something billion. And then we have the debt to GDP figure as well.
Yes.
Before debt restructuring and current.
will not take it.
Let your producers check how much NDC borrowed.
120 billion was our debt at the time NDC exited office.
Exactly.
It is reflected in what Ken Ofori-Atta told Parliament.
You just check from the Bank of Ghana. It's easy for your people to check. Now, my second point is about the servicing. You would agree that before COVID, we were servicing our debt. Before COVID, we were servicing our debt.
Even during COVID. During COVID, we were servicing.
But the debt exchange, the difficulty came
until recently.
2022 November. We were servicing our debt 2020, 2021, 2022 until November.
Yes. So the difficulties with COVID, as John Mahama said at Harvard, impacted on our ability to service debt. Look, debt to GDP is a ratio, isn't it?
Yes.
So when you have your GDP drop from 6.5 in 2019 to 0.8 in 2020, it would affect the ratios.
You're talking about growth rate, not GDP.
GDP.
Ghana's GDP has been growing.
Yeah.
You are referring to growth rate.
Yeah.
Ghana's GDP has been growing. The economy has been expanding.
Yes, and I'm
so the debt to GDP, that is what lured you to go into taking all those loans, because when we did the how do you call it? We did the.
But you are saying what I'm saying.
No. I'm just saying that you are referring to growth rate, not GDP. Ghana's GDP keeps increasing.
Yeah. But I'm saying to you, listen, when you have your GDP growing at 6.5, and then it drops to 0.8, it will affect the ratios. And that's what happened in 2020. But before that, we're servicing our debt. Or we're not servicing our debt. So, and now we've gone into a successful negotiation that gives us the briefing space, because this is what we are doing to get ourselves out of the problem. But the basic fact is that when you are going to talk about the borrowing and the difficulty in servicing the borrowing, and you talk about reckless borrowing on the NPP part, the figures do not support it.
No, but,
unless you have different figures, give it to us. And let your producer check from the Bank of Ghana to
it is clear that your finance minister came to Parliament in 2017, and it was clear, even the president in the State of the Nation address, you inherited 120 billion Ghana cedis debt right from Nkrumah. Now we're getting to about 800 billion. That is the fact. So, you know, it's a
Can you just tell me how much you borrowed?
The issue is not whether how much I borrowed or not borrowed. Do you accept the fact that you inherited 120 billion, Ghana cedis?
Ghana cedis.
Yes.
Ghana
do you accept that?
I don't know about that.
Oh, you don't know about that?
No, I just know the Bank of Ghana. Listen, I know the Bank of Ghana figures.
And I'm telling
as
you,
to the borrowing.
I'm putting it to you that
and I've asked
you
Randy to check.
inherited a debt of 120 billion Ghana cedis, and that was clearly stated by the president.
And then what is it now?
It's close to 20 billion.
But you know, you would agree.
It's close to 20
no,
billion.
honorable. You are honorable man.
Do you agree to that?
Do
you agree with me?
1 second. I haven't checked.
Okay.
But even if
so
I
check.
Even if I take your word for
Doc,
it.
can you ask your?
Oh, let me just
check for us.
Even if
the debt details of the state
in cities. But even if I take, even if I take
122 billion
cedis.
Yes.
But even if I take your word for it, you know that the CD value of the debt is affected by the exchange rate.
But no, it's an issue.
That affects everybody.
It affects everybody.
With NDC.
That's why I'm denominating in dollars. So that it's not affected.
Why?
But those are the actual.
But you generate cities. Why do you want to?
So, but the borrowing,
look at
the borrowing is.
Please, you can look at the data.
Okay, so what is it? What is it?
Look at it.
So
Ghana accumulated debt. I'm asking for how much NDC. Listen, now what I'm asking your producer to do is how much NDC borrowed and how much NPP borrowed. That's all. Let him
But are you okay with this one?
What is this one?
So it's telling you, as of 2016, the details were 122.1 billion Ghana cedis.
Yes.
Okay, as of 20.
But I have told you that the CD, as for the CD value,
the impact really about debt is that even if I borrowed 100 billion,
and you borrowed 30.
and no, even if I borrowed 100 billion, and I am able to pay
the
servicing, I'm able to service my debt. That is how come you have countries whose debt to
is
GDP
100%.
is even more, over 200% and all that. But they have the capacity
to service
their debt.
Yeah.
It is when you are unable to service your debt, that is the debt sustainability.
And you and I have agreed.
So when you are when you claim to be an astute manager of the economy, and you claim to be more efficient and capable than others, that must be demonstrated.
Yes, but you would agree
by how you go about it.
Okay, but you would agree that
but
COVID plays a big impediment on our ability to serve.
Why? So what did he do?
You may have no impact at all.
The COVID that gave us 33 billion. What did he do?
You may have no impact at all.
I didn't say no.
Say exactly what he did.
I'm saying the COVID that gave us 33 billion.
Yes.
Yes. How did COVID How did COVID?
COVID. Listen.
Yes.
The growth rate of the economy during COVID fell from 6.5 to below 1. The revenue shortfall.
Yes.
You have to still find $1 billion every year to pay energy costs, the take or pay.
No, what was the revenue shortfall? All those are indicated in the documents that were presented.
The revenue shortfall for which year?
The COVID years you're talking about.
Oh, those are huge shortfalls.
The finance minister went to Parliament on an urgent question to answer.
And he said what?
How much we got from COVID, how we spend the COVID money. He told us what we spent on COVID and how much we used to balance the budget. So COVID gave us money, to finance COVID expenditure.
How much did we get from COVID?
Now it could be about a little over 30 billion.
30 billion.
Yes.
But you know, the what do you call it? The energy take or pay alone, you need to pay $1 billion a year.
But Nana, what does take or pay got to do with COVID?
No, because it's still money. You must generate the money. And so when your revenues have fallen because of COVID, unless you don't agree that COVID had any impact at all, you don't agree.
I have not said so.
Yeah, so if it had an impact. I'm
just telling you that
if it had
COVID that had an impact gave you 33 billion.
So it wasn't a negative impact. It was a positive impact.
Balance it.
Money. You had money.
Because the finance minister was in Parliament.
Do you agree?
And he gave us the details.
No, do you agree that COVID had a negative impact on us? Or don't agree?
I was some negative
because
impact. Some negative impact.
So when you do the analysis of our debt servicing capacity, you cannot discount the impact of COVID.
Tell me what the impact is. You should be able to tell me that, for example, Nana, you should be able to tell me that, for example,
the revenue shortfall.
Yes, that the revenue shortfall was X. And that had Y effect. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
No, I follow
yes, because if a finance minister is telling me that these were my receipts as a result of COVID, I used Y on all COVID expenditure. So he's even saying that my specific COVID expenditure were dealt with by
the
inflows for COVID. And then I got an extra to also balance my budget. So if we're saying that there were revenue shortfalls that affect, then we should be dealing with the data.
Yes.
The numbers.
And so you mean COVID had no impact at all?
No, but
you had a beneficial impact.
And you've asked me this question before. I've answered you.
But what you are saying, your view is that COVID's impact was positive.
All I'm trying to tell you is that you are blaming
everything on COVID.
You are blaming your inability to carry a load. There's a tree
on COVID.
There's a tree. They say you.
But you are also blaming it on incompetence. That's the implication of what you are saying.
I'm saying yes. You told me. That's why I told you that at every point when you borrow, the implication of that borrowing is clear to you. There's like a dashboard.
Yeah.
And I'm sure now you know that.
But then you didn't know that COVID was going to come.
Nana.
Then I won't take it. but
because when you were looking at the dashboard, you didn't know that COVID was going to come. And the impact
I'm telling you that the warnings started coming. And you see, Nana, the worst part is that, the worst part is that when we were shut off the capital market, we still got the Bank of Ghana to even print money for government. Money way above that 3 billion you were going to take from the capital market.
Exactly. Printed more money.
Yes.
But that shows you that COVID did not cover all the shortfall.
Which shortfall?
The shortfall in our revenues.
You couldn't go to the capital market not because of COVID.
But
that's what I'm telling you.
We couldn't go to the capital market because the ratios went out of sync.
Because you couldn't pay.
Now let me, because
I was going to.
Just 2 seconds.
No, I was going to.
Oh, by you 2 seconds. Now because of what Randy is saying, he's my friend. I don't know why this morning he's. Because of what you are saying, I'm going to read to you what our man told. No, 2 seconds. What our man said about COVID and the impact.
Who said?
So John Mahama. Read two things. Read what he said about Africa and read what he said about Ghana.
I have already told you But when he came to Ghana,
No, you don't get what I'm saying. I'm saying if you read what he said about Africa,
yes,
kindly read exactly what he said about Ghana.
I will do what you like, no problem. Like governments, like you're my friend. Like governments all over the world, it became necessary for African governments to take action to shield their population from the effects of the COVID pandemic. This meant in many cases an increase in deficits due to unbudgeted expenditures. This has devastated many African economies and sunk them deeper into unsustainable debts. The pandemic has had a very deleterious effect on the economy of African countries. Data from ECA shows COVID-19 created the worst recession in Africa in 50 years, with real GDP shrinking by an average of 3% in 2020. The pandemic is estimated to have dragged about 55 million Africans into poverty. This is John.
So
then he goes on to say this about Ghana. He says that in my country, Ghana, the country has emerged in poor shape from the COVID experience. So he agrees that Ghana too had it. Then he says, a ballooning deficit, double-digit inflation, nose-diving currency, increasing debt distress are some of the symptoms, which is the same symptoms he has given for Africa. Then he goes on. But Ghana's case is caused by the cavalier handling of the economy by the current administration. Unbridled borrowing from the capital market, etc. It says that Ghana went into the pandemic without adequate buffers. Now, when you talk about the effect that COVID has had on Africa, and you talk about the increase in deficits due to unbudgeted expenditures that have devastated African economy.
So your 2 seconds is up, right?
Give me 1 more second. And sunk them into and sunk them into unsustainable debts. Yes. And the pandemic has generally had a deleterious effect on Africa. And data from ECA, Economic Commission on Africa, shows that it created the worst recession in 50 years and GDP shrinking, all of that. When you say all of that about Africa, then when you come to Ghana, say, as for Ghana, dear, it was caused by the cavalier handling of the economy.
Okay, so and I just ask you one question on this one.
Yeah.
The recovery from COVID. The recovery from COVID. Has it been the same for all African countries?
No, you are not going to have the
post-COVID performance.
Yeah.
Has it been the same for all African countries?
No.
Why?
It will be different.
Why?
Because African economies are different.
Yes. So,
but you take the general.
So there's the general and there's the country specific.
I think, Doc, it's all about.
I agree.
It's all about. I think you want to come.
Anyway, to be fair to you.
So I think it's all about mismanagement of the economy, right? It is also very clear, and I'm happy to now assess that at the time that we were exiting office, we had a debt of 122 billion Ghana cedis. That's what Mahama, handed over to Nana Akufo-Addo and Bawumia.
Okay.
As you speak now, we are into the region of 800 billion Ghana cedis. But I'm concerned about the credibility matter. You were talking about, a government. I talked about the credibility of a personality, of a person. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
So that's what I also talked about. The two of them. No.
So tell me.
I talked about Mahama.
So let me finish. So he made certain, statements, assertions. We're not going to, go for loans. We'll toll roads.
Yeah.
And we'll pave roads, concrete. He said that.
Yeah.
The question is, has he been able to do that?
No.
He said that I have arrested the CD and many more. The key given to this. So I'm talking about the person's personality, the credibility.
But Mahama too said he arrested the CD.
Did Mahama say, show me a statement what Mahama made or did make, that I will do this, and was not able to deliver? So the government policy issues or government statement, that's a different matter. But I'm telling you, Bawumia has a credibility issue. He is a person who says today this, and another time that, and later on we saw that he was just commissioning toilet. He said every household will have toilets, and that never happened, and many more. So if I talk about credibility for people, it's about the personality, the person himself. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. There's a man that you are the campaign campaign manager to him. So basically, I wanted to get this thing very clear. But Doc, on a more important note, and I think my friend,
I'm your friend now.
Oh, but you said that you're my friend. I didn't know that I was your friend. So now, when I got to you, you said I'm a friend. I pick it.
Okay.
You're my nice gentleman.
Okay.
You're my committee. I'm the ranking for Central Committee, and you have a big company. You are the MD for that. So I'm happy that you accept me as your friend. But the more important, you have accepted and agreed that our debt
during Kufuor's time, $1, 1 cedi.
Yeah.
Mahama Mills, $1, 2 cedis.
But you would agree that in the period between 2017 and 2019, the currency was fairly stable.
But to be honest,
we've not had a government from 2019. We've not had a government from 2019.
2020, COVID came.
COVID is now governing Ghana.
But I told you, I mean, the way you are discounting the impact of COVID is not fair.
What Mahama did, Mahama didn't promise. He didn't say, I'll do this. But at the end of the day, you know what he did? The sinking fund was created for you, 3 oil fields and many more. This is what this man was able to do. And if you check even the loan, look, I think the 122 billion all has in the various projects that Mahama brought on board, the Rage Hospital, the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, the Kaswa Interchange, and many projects that Mahama within 4 years. So you can't just bring Mahama on the same line as Bawumia, because in terms of credibility, in terms of performance and everything. But it's also important to know, Nana, that you always say, the last time I was here, you did mention that, Bawumia needs the authority now to be a president. Now, Mahama was a president, I was able to do that. But the issue of credibility is a matter. You are here dressing up with issues, the economy will do this, food production, and power and so on. I don't think he believes it. But Ghanaians are too receptive to so many ideas anytime, anywhere. Somebody comes in here, and we have not experienced this ever until now before this government, where they'll just be unnecessarily comparing. We have done this more than any other government in the history of this country. And that is why when Nana started saying this and Bawumia also started saying this, there was no, nobody applied the brakes. And this is what Napo was going to do. Where the man, South African man in the millennium, Kwame Nkrumah, because of the fact that he doesn't see it. It's been the behavior of your stock.
So Honorable, we will take a break. Yes. When we return, because of where you went to, when we return, it will be the issue we'll discuss. Because whilst we're speaking, a statement has been issued.
Really?
Dr. Kingsley Nyakun, MP for Kwadaso, Deputy Education Minister, has sent it to me.
Okay.
The Honorable Matthew Opoku Prempeh has issued a statement.
Okay.
We'll be back shortly.
She's coming. She's coming!
It's in.
Red Hour Seatbelt!
Boss, let's go back.
Okay, here. Take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming!
She's here. Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
Rise and shine, it's another day to stay on point. Toast is Friday, it's still on point. Watch is Friday all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Watch is Friday,
It's still on point.
It's creamy.
For your toast. It's still on point.
It's yummy delicious.
It's still on point.
Still on point. Yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Still on point. Yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
For your toast. It's still on point.
It's still on point.
Fortune spread. It's yummy delicious.
It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Blast. Boom! Exclusively on Betway. Win up to 300% more when you play FlyX with Win Boost from Betway. Betway, get way more.
Are you looking to own a prime piece of litigation-free land where you can put up your dream family home or your ideal getaway retreat within a luxurious estate? Then look no further. Welcome to Rehoboth Hills, where your dream of hassle-free land ownership comes to life. Acquire land devoid of multiple perks, looking the city of Accra and the Abri Mountains. Our prices are very affordable and designed to fit your budget. We offer flexible payment terms, ensuring that you can invest in a valuable asset for the future. Contact us on 0244-764-499 or 0204-950-810 or visit our website at www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com. Rehoboth Properties, quality housing for all.
Yes.
Star 712.
Which are these? Coming on Greece. Yeah, and you were back in Greece. To say why you fit a millionaire. Yes, the luckiest at Aroma. To say about from Massa Echeman. Yeah. Now check this. Sister Abna, aka Kodihima. The luckiest at Aroma. Queen B.
Yeah.
Boss Lady Baku Peg. Hold on to your seats, folks. Such anyway, it'll be you smooth. Way and your friend will upgrade. Luckiest Adaroma. And the best part, with the luckiest, Obia or a shot to a good life. And I'm talking to you, me, your girlfriend, your ex, your neighbors, your landlords, and even Goro boys. And no one is over dialing with lucky number star 712#.
Oswald Top ticket to win in the community draw or the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply. Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo has delivered the free SHS. His government is better than Nkrumah's government. MPP party no. Obi Obeka senya bi nhia bi ai oboa. Nana Addo Akufo-Addo odun kwa the president wa ba efi ogotwi ekomo ma ada meboa. Efi ogotwi ekomo nya dai. Ewiase nyina chi kom no na Ghana wo dai aduane. Wo me ade nyame ase. Nyame aye bi ama party no. To da bo se. Bi edi kan enema sabi tie. Aha bi je the whole dream ye. So your baburu na wo MPP a asema meka chewa ne se osum sompa ubekọ wanim. Osum sompa ubekọ de wanim. Oya test call ni o, oya sadu adwumo, osum sompa oya de ukọ wanim. De ebinom ni Ghana kodru ye. Na ni da so ni no. Na Addo Akufo-Addo aba amani to so ya de aba. Say na nyame ba bo amado tabomi aba na wasifie papa bi enya ya de yatsem. Eti ene bi jira ha. Bunyina.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I have the Honorable Nana Akumia, and also with me on the show this morning is the Honorable Member of Parliament for the Wasa East constituency, the Honorable Isaac Eje Mensah. Aye Soko. Dakosombo dam be big, but Beto is cash out be bigger. Beto is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Beto without any hassle. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. It's not for persons under 18 and is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. And Blue Jeans energy drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans energy drink is for bold and active men and women. So go on, grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide, and you can reach Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208 128 190 055 001 0000. Right. Now, so I told you before we went on a break that I got a statement sent to me by the Honorable Member of Parliament for Kwara. So it's also
yes. Conclusion of the last this whole business.
No, we don't have time.
Oh, just 2 minutes.
Nah.
We have plenty of time.
We don't.
15 minutes.
No, we have just 9 minutes.
Is that so?
Yes, just
your
9
watch
minutes.
Good.
Okay, that's my watch.
Because mine is like 12, 13 minutes. This is 2 minutes.
Nah.
This is the STC time.
Since we're since we are talking about credibility and all of that. And
oh, you are.
I'm just going to read a half-page report done by ISE in 2015. The title is ISE tells government, stop borrowing to pay debts. This is 13th November 2015. Now, say stop borrowing to pay debts. That's the admonition from the ISE. Ahead of the Finance Minister Setepe's presentation of the budget, ISE is worried about the government's recurrent expenditure. ISE says it is not sustainable in relation to the gap in revenue. Ghana's budget deficit in 2015 is pegged at 9.7 billion, equivalent to 7.3% of GDP. ISE, in a 200-page document published in the latest edition of the State of the Ghana Economy, the Semi-Autonomous Research Institute during a roadshow, so in 2014, Ghana faced major challenges. The cedi, according to the Bank of Ghana, by 21.2, the lost value by 31.2, more than double the previous year. It was described as the worst performing currency of the continent of Africa, next to the Zambian kwacha. The economy strained with more pressure from high interest rates, persisting energy crisis, and rising public debts. For some time now, Ghana's total indebtedness has assumed an upward trend, accompanied by the increasing debt service burden. This certainly poses a challenge to the economy in the medium term. In 2013, the debt stock shot up from a level of about 46 million cedis to about 76 million cedis in 1 year. This is about a 65% increase from 2013 to 2014, the highest annual increase in the debt stock since the year 2000. Government has said the increase in external debt is largely due to the increase in external net disbursement for infrastructure projects and net domestic, as well as the depreciation of the city. Public spending efficiency will remain problematic, and the appetite for borrowing and spending needs to be put in check. ISA warns of a debt crisis looms if critical corrective measures such as cutting down profit-related expenditure and working within budget are not put into place. Now I'm saying that this is one report on John Mahama's performance. If you're going to look for credibility between the two of them,
Nana, the day you assumed office,
you let me conclude.
The day you assumed office,
You let me conclude.
You should have given this document
Yeah.
to your cabinet.
I'm sure they have it.
They have it.
And they didn't listen to that. No, they didn't listen to that.
But my point is about credibility.
Because we take the indicators here
my point,
and compare to the
what they
indicators.
did, my point is about credibility.
Exactly.
I'm saying that this is a report card on John Mahama's economic performance. So if you are going to do,
You mean
no, this is 2014, 2015.
Yes.
So
Okay,
it's not
yes, yes.
Now I'm saying that if you're going to talk about credibility between Mahama and Bawumia, this is Mahama's
It's a person.
This is
you are talking about.
Banana, if
it's a
I'll finish my
personality.
case.
Nana, if per these indicators, this was the warning. If you move this into your tenure,
my simple answer is that there was
But
no,
Doc,
there
you
was
see,
no COVID.
Doc, my issue is about the personality. You see, this moved Bawumia into saying that, oh, when we can borrow, we just tow roads and so on, and all those things. It's about credibility.
Whatever you say,
so let me read
credibility,
this.
Nana.
Whatever you say,
Let me read this.
Bawumia has not been president.
Okay. I did
Has
not
he?
mean.
Has he?
I did not mean to denigrate former President Dr. Kwame Nkrumah or any other president. My statement last Tuesday, 9th of July in Kumasi on the performance of President Akufo-Addo has elicited varied reactions. The statement reflects my personal opinion about President Akufo-Addo's impact relative to other presidents we have had. I wish to emphasize that I never meant to disrespect our former President Dr. Kwame Nkrumah or any of our former heads of state, including my own granduncle and mentor, Mr. John Agyekum Kufuor. I note the concerns raised after my statement. I apologize sincerely and regret any discomfort caused. Thank you, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, running mate to the NPP presidential candidate, July 12, 2024.
I think it's a step in the right direction, and I must commend the running mate for this statement, because obviously the statement gave a perception that he was denigrating the first president, and he has to clarify that that wasn't his intention, that his opinion was that in terms of impact, President Akufo-Addo has had the most impact as a president of Ghana. Now that includes every president up to today, because he didn't single anybody out. And to reinforce his statement that he wasn't denigrating Nkrumah, we should remember, and I think he mentioned it in the statement, that his grand uncle is included. President Kufuor is his grand uncle, and indeed he lived with him at airport when Kufuor was president. So he couldn't have been
I didn't know that when he was saying what he said.
No, in his opinion, Akufo-Addo's impact surpasses every other president. That's his opinion. His opinion you may not share, but there's no problem with him having that opinion. That President Mahama has said that in his opinion he brought free SHS. We all know that cannot be true, but he says that he believes he brought it up. It's not. So that's his opinion. The part where he brought in Nkrumah and so on has been interpreted as denigrating Nkrumah.
Has been interpreted?
Yes.
Was that not what it was?
Okay. If So the part that he brought in Nkrumah, he's told you that that's not his intention. But so it appeared like that, and that's why he's issued a statement. So it is good that he's come out to clarify that that wasn't his intention.
He says that I never meant to disrespect our former president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, or any of our former heads of state, including my own granduncle and mentor, Mr. John Ajikun Kufuor. Okay. I want to show you a video.
That says what?
No, I want to show you a video, and I want to take your view on that video.
Which one? The one he's...
No, let me show you.
Which video?
No, you're showing it. Yes.
Okay, you show
The video where he speaks about former President Mahama.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I thought...
I want us to watch that one within the context of the issue of disrespecting former heads of state.
Okay.
Danyamese say NDC for we nyeri papa be bia fa masa do mama. It be masiba no joy do mama. Every say Danyamese say NDC for we nyeri papa be bia fa masa do mama. It be masiba no joy do mama. Every say
What do you make of this?
Oh, Randy, you know, in our political discourse, we've all engaged in describing our political opponents in some unsavory terms. I can talk about how NDC spokespersons and so on have described Akufo-Addo and even Bawumia himself. You know. And many times we try to say that, look, the discussion should be sanitized, should be devoid of insults. So anything that can be interpreted as insulting your opponent or so on should not be encouraged. But it's obviously something that has cut across the political divide. And if I'm to tell you, repeat some of the things that NDC spokespersons have said about Akufo-Addo and have said about Bawumia, we won't leave, but it will just be perpetuating that that thing that we don't want to encourage. So in our communication, I mean, there is enough objective facts that you can talk about. I mean, today I have spoken about President Mahama not being an alternative. And my point of that, my assertion is based on the fact that he got a chance for 4.5 years. His mandate was not renewed. So, in my view, he failed. That is not a denigration on his person. I'm just looking at the election results and interpreting it. So, we should be careful in our communication to ensure that we do. And I don't think this video, this is about like 2 years ago or something, when John Mahama was not.
He was a cabinet minister, yeah?
Sorry?
I think that's
when he was elected by the NDC.
When he was elected by the NDC. So going forward, I hope that the communication will be more sanitized. But what you played, I've never seen, this is the first time, that could be interpreted as a denigration, and we will have
to be or is.
Well, okay, it's a denigration, and so we all should move.
I like
we should because there are enough objective facts that are there. I mean, we're talking about somebody can use debt and management and decide that you have been incompetent. That's a fair interpretation, looking at their set of facts. Another person will look at the same facts and disagree. But that's how the discourse should be. And so we should try. That's why I'm happy that on this occasion.
I got a couple of comments that raises an issue. That the day after the incident.
Yeah. Which incident? Oh, you mean Napos?
Yes.
Okay.
He was reported to be in the Western region. And then he had the opportunity of speaking about this issue.
Thank you.
And he said that he was being misrepresented. And that Ghanaians don't like people who speak the truth. And that they rather applaud people who lie. So his first opportunity
was that
at speaking to that issue. This
was the day after.
The day after. This was his position.
Yeah, but obviously after further reflection, he's come to this position.
Yeah, but Doc,
or at least you must applaud him.
Yeah, no.
For after the reflection coming to this
So,
statement.
permission to come in small.
Oh, please, 1 second. You must applaud him.
Okay. Let me bring it on over.
No, you must applaud him.
Could you Chumba send me something, but I'm giving it to you to read.
You must applaud.
Yes, let's hear it.
So, Doc, you see, in fact,
Have you said it?
I think it's a step in the wrong direction.
Oh, could you Chumba? We don't do that in our party.
Yeah, but I think that this is not a mean person and a running mate. And he's been a cabinet minister for 2 terms, Minister of Education, Minister for these are critical strategic areas. And you just don't appoint any person to be there. He's a seasoned legislator, and we think that he should have been more discreet in his presentation, especially at the time that you've been ushered in, you've been unveiled as running mate. Immediately he should have retracted. It took a lot in Wasa and the father is in Crawford.
You mean it's disrespect because Kwame Nkrumah is from the Western region?
No, I'm saying, no, he went there. Why did he go there?
Oh, so he shouldn't go to the region?
He can go to Bolga, he could have gone to Kumasi or anywhere. But going to the chiefs. And
but the chiefs were happy from the reports.
That is misrepresentation. You see? So that it was the right opportunity for him there before Tetete to say, oh, I have been misrepresented, but I don't mean it. I withdraw and apologize. That would have been the best thing for him. He did not. He defended to the extent that he was speaking the truth. Going to the source of Kwame Nkrumah in the region. And I like he went to some of the areas like Disco and all those areas. So why did he choose, after giving this appalling remarks, this disrespectful comment by Kwame Nkrumah, going to Western region? So I think that if he's back to tell us that, oh, he is sorry, it is because he realized later that the uncle was also involved. But I'm surprised to know that he didn't know that his own uncle was involved in this.
A friend of my daddy says, who says the truth and apologizes for it? What did Napo say when he went to the Western region?
Exactly. He didn't say anything. So disrespectful.
No, but we can all reflect.
Oregon was in him.
Yeah. We can all reflect on our,
Of course.
And that's what he's done.
But you see,
at least you must give him credit for that.
That's what I'm saying. It is wrong direction. He didn't do that on time.
You must give him credit for.
Is he a full soldier? He's not a full soldier. He's not an ordinary communicator. This is a person who is going to be the running mate for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
So he's perfect.
I'm not saying he's perfect, but it's so serious.
So if he's done something that he believes upon reflection that he may have gone overboard.
So
you are saying that why? Because he's a running mate.
No.
What do you make of this? The day of the outdooring, when you went to Mensha, Otumfuo had the opportunity of speaking.
Thank you.
And he said something to the effect, say, yes, see, we need so idea.
Yeah.
Now, me na mititi odi and ti menim say yes sir. Madia
don't.
Then he went out.
Then 3 hours later, what happened?
He displayed in intensity.
But that's why he's issued a
so that's fine.
Statement.
So he
because Randy, you see, what we must also know is that many senior politicians have made statements that have not been seen to be tasteful.
Yes.
They refuse to even. But at least he has.
No, but he's been compelled to do that, which is very positive.
I'm saying that, but the politicians, they didn't have people to compare that.
I suspect that Otumfuo may have given him some warning.
Yeah, so those other people who made those statements, they didn't have Otumfuo.
Sorry.
You want me to quote some of these statements?
No. Who are you going to quote?
No, you want me to quote?
Quote who? President Renimate? Quote saying.
Senior members of your party.
On a more serious note.
But at least, listen, we are all.
We
are not.
I defer to you.
We are not angels. We are human beings.
True.
So we are prone to make slips. So if you make a slip, the honorable thing to do is to come out and express.
Now the point is,
many people.
Now the point I was making to you when I referred to the issue of what Otumfuo said was that there's been a statement to the effect.
You mean he didn't take Otumfuo's advice?
No,
That's what you want to say.
There's been a statement. No. I'm saying there's a statement to the effect, or statements to the effect, that there is a character trait.
Yeah.
And then Otumfuo says that this is what I've heard people say. I don't believe it because I train you and all that. So be careful you don't vindicate that position.
Thank you.
So there's a difference between a slip, we all slip.
Yeah.
And then a vindication of a character trait.
Yeah.
I hope you get a point. And that's why the issue of even the one about.
So you believe it's a character trait?
Even the one about the video about JDM.
Yeah. So you believe it's a character trait?
No, I'm just saying that that was what was out there. And if it weren't something which was seriously put out there, I'm not sure Otumfuo would have even referred to it. And even told us that Onina Shedem. Because he definitely will be dealing with things that are waiting.
What you are saying is a character trait. That's what you are saying. It wasn't a slip. It's part of his nature. That's what you are trying to tell me.
No, I'm just saying.
Not necessarily.
But you said after the advice from Otumfuo, he then went there and did this. So it's a character trait.
No, I'm asking you.
Otherwise, it's a slip.
No, I'm asking you. No. That if there is that statement against, first of all, there is that, let me even put it, at that point, there were those allegations against his person.
Yes. And Otumfuo advised him.
And Otumfuo said, this is what I've heard.
Yes.
I've sat you in the room. So even for Otumfuo to raise it means that he thinks that it is something worth
looking at
and dealing with him on it. And then subsequent to that, we saw what happened.
What he said at the rally.
But
then the next day, when he had the opportunity of speaking, what he said.
So what is your conclusion? That is a character trait?
I don't have a conclusion.
There's a character trait.
Because otherwise...
Nana, ask me, I'll tell you it's a character trait. Tell me, I thought Doc is a very...
Okay, but the man is your friend because you're in parliament with him. In your personal experience...
You are just my friend.
Yeah, no, I'm not in parliament. I've met you twice in my life.
You said here, you said that I'm your friend. You said it.
Chief.
Doc, didn't you say that I'm the friend here?
He was just being nice. That's what he says now.
Oh,
I have met you.
Just being nice.
I have met you twice.
You're just being nice.
Twice in my life.
He's my colleague in parliament.
Yes, I'm saying in your own personal experience, is it a character trait?
Doc was telling you the comments by Otumfuo, the overlord Otumfuo.
The advice.
In public.
Yeah.
It was not in the room and was cautioning him.
So is the character trait?
Yeah. So if you check what he did to President Mahama, his comments about President Mahama, and a lot of comments, what he said, in the Qatar, regarding the Qatar Sea defense thing. So that sense of arrogance in him, and it's just a character issue. It is not just one, twice, 3 times. When he went to Tetrete in Amensi, my place, you know, I was paying there, and he was not humble. I was expecting him to be humble. Nana, my co-markers asked me, he didn't do that.
He didn't say anything about the region.
I'm saying he went to the region.
He didn't say anything about the region.
Kwame Nkrumah is the son of the region. So he chose to go to the region. And he went to a chief, a paramount chief. So that was the right opportunity for him to dispel everything. Please, Nana, I'm sorry, this didn't happen. That would have killed everything. But he defended it.
But now he's done it.
That's what I'm saying. It's good in the wrong direction. He probably could have done that better. My worry is that he's a running mate. He's a running mate to the flag bearer that you are chairman to his committee, a vice chairman to the committee. So he was making your work difficult. And now if he's done that, probably just to lessen the situation down.
He's vice chair of the tickets, so he's responsible for both of them.
Thank you. And you see, for me, I think you still further have to talk to him. In spite of what Otumfuo has been telling him, you're a nice gentleman, and so tell him.
But you can. His statement has just been read. No, his statement has just been read to you.
Is it you should tell him that what? What you said, you should tell him that.
You see, you should take it easy, right? Don't be strong-headed. No, you owe a responsibility to do this, please.
All that you are saying.
For me.
No, I like you. All that you are saying is fine, but I'm saying that a statement has been read to you.
That's it. Of course.
Okay,
so count that.
We need to go. Today is a birthday of a friend of mine I've known from childhood. She's 50 today. So Mercy Mensah, you've joined the 5th floor today. So happy 50th birthday to you, Mercy Mensah. Happy birthday. We wish you the very, very best in all your endeavors. Nana?
When the short time,
please.
1 second. But Napo is your personal friend.
Yes, he is.
In your personal dealings with him, do you support what my friend is saying?
Okay. Up next is Metro Sports.